Has this ever happened to you? Just need to copy this last file over and... bruh. Oh, this was me the other day, but then a couple days later, this happened.
You have been chosen for the UGREEN NAS.
Oh my goodness, the storage gods have spoken. Now let's be real here. Do you ever struggle with not having enough storage on your computer? And then you realize to yourself, well, I really could just use Google Drive, or I could use Mega, or I could use iCloud storage. I could use whatever I want. You wanna know what the real setback is? That your data is on someone else's computer. How does that make you feel?
I don't feel very good.
When you have your files that you only want seen by your eyes and maybe somebody else's eyes, but not very many people. Yeah, and I'm only talking about game ROMs. I wasn't talking about anything. You thought I was talking about something else. I wasn't.
You disgust me. Go on.
Anyways, I really have considered the options here when it comes to being a content creator on YouTube. My biggest problem is my hard drive size only has 24 gigs available, and it goes down every single time I make a video. And I get to this point where I'm thinking to myself, why in the world would I upload any of my videos to someone else's computer when I could just upload it to my own? And that's where this thing comes in. This is the UGREEN NAS, and not just any NAS. This is the DXP 4800 Plus from UGREEN. You want to know something really cool about this machine? Coming from a technology nerd's perspective, you want to know what I'm currently using as my own file server? I use one of these. This is a Dell Optiplex 3040. Anyways, in my own personal file server, it has an i3 with 4 gigs of DDR4 RAM, a 500 gig SATA, albeit a 7200 RPM hard drive. But you want to know my biggest problem? It's not dedicated to being a storage device. A lot of these computers, they can do it, and you can technically do it DIY, make your own. But wait, let's be honest for a second. You and me, right here. We all love DIY. I love DIY more than anybody I know. And I know a lot of people. Okay, I'm just kidding.
I am so lonely. No one talks to me.
But anyways, what's really important here is that going completely full DIY means you gotta deal with DIY headaches. And you know that you're gonna deal with DIY problems. And I'm talking about when you are running Linux on this machine and you can't delete a file, or you're suffering from the lack of hardware support or software support. You run out of space for your hard drives. Like me, I don't know how to set up RAID. I've never done it in my life. And I know you'd be surprised for the lack of things that I don't know and the things that I do know. But I know one thing. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of using something like this as my storage for multiple large files. So we're gonna get rid of this thing. I'm not gonna drop it because this is a beautiful machine. Anyway, so let's talk about the perks of owning a NAS. I'm going to give you all the facts. You know what you have to do when you want to replace a hard drive in your computer? You have to take the side panel off, and then you gotta reach around and unplug SATA cables. It's just super annoying. Okay, maybe I'm making it a little worse than it is, but it's just a nuisance. This is how easy it is to replace a hard drive in a NAS. You quite literally push a button, pull out the drive tray, slide the drive tray, take out the old hard drive, put in your new hard drive, slide this little door, put it back in. That's it. You're all done. Literally that easy. The cool thing about UGREEN is that they regularly support third-party hard drives, so you don't have to use a UGREEN branded hard drive. In fact, they have a complete compatibility list that shows you exactly what drives you can use with the NAS. Now, currently, as of right now, I have 16 terabytes of space in this NAS. So it'd be 4, 8, 12, and 16. Now, the cool thing about this unit in specific is it can support up to 112 terabytes. Do you even have 112 terabytes? Well, you will if you get one of these. Now, the interesting thing I like about this NAS is on the bottom, there are 2 screws you take out. Uno, dos.
You know I don't speak Spanish. In English, please.
Tray comes out. On the bottom is quite literally 2 M.2 slots. And of course, you can upgrade the RAM that's in your NAS as well. We're currently rocking with 8 gigs of DDR5. Ladies and gentlemen, I have never used a NAS before, so let's get this thing plugged in. Accessories in the box. We have a manual and a warranty card. We have a 19 volt, 7.9 amp adapter, which is really quite a lot of amps. This is a hunt key. We have Ethernet cables, and then we have one more thing. My heart's guess is that they're thermal pads, and they are. Wow, these are some beefy thermal pads. These are probably for the M.2. Since I already have an Ethernet cable down under my desk, we are going to disconnect my current server, and we're gonna hook up the old UGREEN, or the new UGREEN. We're gonna disconnect the old, you know. All right, this is my current server. Hello, baby. Oh my God, it's so dusty. Don't you just love my cable management? Anyway, we have to unplug the Ethernet cable, which is just gonna slide out because this one is not good. Don't worry, you can go to sleep now. It breaks my heart.
My watch is ended.
All right, threw away the old Ethernet cable. Yeah, I have a lot of projects out here. All right, Ethernet cable. Let's hook it up to the router. All right, we have the UGREEN plugged in, and it has a little top hat, which is the Google Mesh Wi-Fi. Let's turn it on. Oh, it's doing things. It's doing things. UGREEN is plugged in. Let's try it out. Okay. Directly connect UGREEN NAS via HDMI, which is done. So I connected to it on my phone. Now I should be able to hit register. Okay, now it's gonna ask me to set up administrative stuff. So I didn't realize something. So because the UGREEN NAS uses 4 hard drive bays and we have 4 filled up, each bay has a 4 terabyte hard drive. So basically what I want to create the most redundant situation that I can possible. I know obviously if you're going to have a file server or anything like that, you want to have a backup of a backup of a backup, even off-site, not at your office, at your home, because data is important. But let's be honest, I've been DIY for my entire life. This is the first time having NAS. So what I decided to do was to set it up as a RAID 10. Now what a RAID 10 is, basically you have 2 hard drives. Both are 4 terabyte, combined together, you get 7.2 total, but it's like 8 terabytes, right? And then you have the other 2 hard drives that just mirror the first 2. So if one hard drive goes bad, then you swap in another drive and then it will just clone. I don't know if it clones automatically. I guess we'll find out. It should clone automatically. If not, I think it's probably super easy to figure out. But anyways, well, I went ahead and started the setup process and I thought that it was going to take like a short amount of time. Turns out it's actually going to take about 6 hours. So I guess I'll reassess again in the morning. The UGREEN DXP 4800 Plus. Compared to someone that has set up their own DIY server, file server that is, the entire setup process with this thing has been completely seamless. And the cool thing is, I literally set up the entire thing on my phone. Okay, so it's been around about 6 hours, or actually it's been about like 12 hours because I went to bed and woke up. So I think I finally successfully logged into this thing. So it says, please create the first folder and upload files. All right, let's try that. Start. So let's take a file. Also, have you subscribed? You know, you should totally consider subscribing. And let's just grab a random video and we're gonna just upload it and just see how this works. This video is 2.5 gigs in size. Okay, upload. Is it uploading? Yes, task manager. Oh, very nice, 12 megabytes per second. That's actually not bad. It's actually really good. And by the way, this is not uploading over LAN. My computer is actually personally uploading it over Wi-Fi. So the fact that it's doing 12 megabytes per second is fantastic. It would probably go way, way faster if I did LAN. So I'm gonna try a LAN cable and try to upload it and see if it goes faster. Looks like this is almost finished. That wasn't too bad. It finished pretty quick. Now let's try LAN. I've successfully connected to LAN. See, right here, LAN. All right, now let's try to upload the exact same file. No, let's try a different file because we don't want to like duplicate it and then it like go fast and I'm like, oh, I just want to see how fast it uploads. And the way I have this set up is a 1 gig Ethernet switch. So it's going from the 2.5 on the NAS and going directly to this guy. So let's see how fast this works. All right, let's upload a different file. This one's a gig in size. This will be a great test. Holy crap, dude. Let's freaking go. Man, LAN really does make a difference. To my own personal server, look at what it's doing. It's doing about 20 megabytes per second versus on the NAS, which is doing like over 65 megabytes per second. Talk about an extreme difference. Now, I don't know if it has something to do with the fact that it's set up as RAID. I just don't have enough experience with it. But either way, it's faster, way faster than my DIY setup. Now, although I showed my upload speed over Wi-Fi, I did also show LAN. One of the best parts of this thing is that you can download up to 1250 megabytes per second, which is the equivalent of downloading a terabyte in like 20 minutes. Now let's talk about the features of this NAS. One of the things I really love about this NAS is that it has a built-in AI image search. So if I want to search guitar pedals, find me a guitar pedal. Yes, it found me guitar pedals. So if you want your friend to log into your NAS, or you have your significant other, kids, and they have whatever files on there, kids videos, you have your movies on Jellyfin, things like that, or you want to show your Christmas video from 2003, you and your family can access NAS Sync anywhere at any time. It supports web browser, iOS, Android, you name it, it's supported. Now I know Prime Day is coming up and UGREEN let me know that they are offering 20% off exclusively on Prime Day. And there will be a link right down in the description. So you want additional iCloud, Google Drive space, Dropbox, Mega, anything you can think of and you want to own your files and actually have them on site, access anytime, this is what you want. And if you've been watching this long, the 1 terabyte flash drive is next.